Sing unto Yahweh, let all the earth call. Bless his name and show forth his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory amongst the...
Shalom, shalom, Israel. So we will be reading the Testament of Abraham, and the prior video that we did for this was chapters 1 through 3. So now we're going to read chapters 4 through chapters 7. Okay, maybe through chapter 8. It just depends. Okay, we're just going to read. So we're going to start off at chapter 4. This is the Testament of Abraham, chapter 4. And Abraham said to Yitzhak his son, "Go, my beloved son, into the inner chamber of the bed, and beautify it. Spread for us there 2 couches, one for me and one for this man that is guest with us this day. Prepare for us there a seat and a candlestick and a table with abundance of every good thing. Beautify thy chamber, my son, and spread under us linen and purple and fine linen. Burn there every precious and excellent incense, and bring sweet-smelling plants from the garden, and fill our bed with them, our house with them. Kindle 7 lamps full of oil, so that we may rejoice. For this man that is our guest this day is more glorious than sovereigns or rulers, and his appearance surpassed all the sons of men." And Isaac prepared all the things well. And Abraham, taking the chief messenger Michael, went into the chamber, and they both sat down upon the couches, and between him he placed a table with abundance of every good thing. The chief captain arose and went out, as if by constraint of his belly, to make issue of water, and ascend to heaven in the twinkling of an eye, and stood before he that causeth to exist, and said to him, "Master, he that causeth to exist, let your power know that I am unable to remind that right ruling man of his death. For I have not seen upon the earth a man like him, pitiful, hospitable, right ruling, truthful, devout, refraining from every evil deed. And now, master, that I cannot remind him of his death." And he that causeth to exist said, "Go down, chief captain Michael, to my friend Abraham, and whatever he say to you, that do you also. And whatever he eat you also with him. And I will send my set-apart spirit upon his son Yitzhak, and will put the remembrance of his death into the heart of Yitzhak, so that even he in a dream may see the death of his father. And Yitzhak may relate the dream, and you shall interpret it, and he himself will know his end." And the chief captain said, "Master, he that causes to exist, all the heavenly spirits are incorporeal, and neither eat nor drink. And this man has set before me a table with abundance of all good things earthly and corruptible. Now, my master, what shall I do? How shall I escape him exceedingly?" And Michael, seeing them weeping, wept also, and the tears of Michael fell upon the vessel and became a precious stone. Right? Because they don't, the angels, they don't eat or drink anything. It's like he says, it will corrupt them. So he was asking the Most High, what shall he do? Because he didn't want to corrupt himself or corrupt his body. Right? Chapter 4:8. When Sarah, being inside her house, heard their weeping, she came out and said to Abraham, "My husband, why is it that ye weep?" Abraham answered and bid to her, "It is no evil. Go in your bed and do your own work, lest we be troublesome to the man." And Sarah went away, being about to prepare the evening meal. And the sun came near to setting, and Michael went out of the bed and was taken up into the heavens to worship before Elohim. Right? And that's where we get the evening sacrifice from, right? Because all the angels, like in Job, it was appointed time when all the heavenly beings were to appear before the Most High. That's the morning sacrifice, the noon sacrifice, and the evening sacrifice. That's why I tell you in the proper ways to pray, in the video, the proper times, the appointed times to pray, I tell you the 3 times to pray for your prayers to be heard, for the messengers to take your prayers up to the Most High, to your petitions, okay? So go watch that video, and we'll put a link up to that video here at the end of this one. So make sure you go watch that, check that out, so you can find out the proper times to pray and what you must do to cleanse yourself before you pray. Okay. And so, like I said, this was the Marav, which is the evening prayers, which are done for the Most High. Okay. So, like he says, and they all worshipped him and went each to his own place. But Michael spoke before he that causes to exist, and said, "Master, he that causes to exist, command me to be questioned before your set apart glory." Right? So as they said, they all worshiped him, the set appointed time where all the angels are supposed to appear, right? And then they all went back to their appointed places they were supposed to go to, except for Michael. Michael stayed to ask the Most High. And he says, "Question me before your set apart glory." And he that caused it to exist said to Michael, announce whatsoever you will. So speak whatever you want. And the chief messenger answered and said, my master, you did send me to Abraham to say to him, depart from your body and leave this world. So right there, that is proof to you that there's an angel that comes and tells you that when it's your time to depart from this world. He that causes to exist calls you, and I dare not. Master, he that causes to exist, reveal myself to him. For he is your friend, and a right ruling man, and one that receives strangers. I beseech you, Master, he that causes to exist, command the remembrance of the death of Abraham to enter into his own heart, and bid not me tell it to him, for it is great abruptness to say, leave the world, and especially to leave one's own body. For you did create him from the beginning to have pity on the souls of all men. Right? That's where it says, I have known you, I formed you from the moon, from the womb. That's what he said in Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 1. Verse 4, I think it is. Then he that causes to exist said to Michael, arise and go to Abraham and lodge with him. And whatsoever you see him eat, eat you also. And wherever he shall sleep, sleep you there also. For I will cast the thought of the death of Abraham into the heart of Isaac his son in a dream, sitting at one table with him. He that causes to exist said, go down to him and take no thought for this. For when you sit down with him, I will send upon you a devouring spirit, and it will consume out of your hands and through your mouth all that is on the table. Rejoice together with him in everything. Only you shall interpret well the things of the vision, that Abraham may know the time of death and the uncertain end of life, and may make disposal of all his possessions. For I have blessed him above the sand of the sea and as the stars of the heaven. Right? For his descendants, right? That includes all his descendants. Everything, everyone that came from his posterity has been blessed and increased. That means Ishmael, it means Joktan, which is the son of his third wife, and Ishmael, the son of his wife Keturah, as well as his son Jacob. Okay, which is his son, Isaac and the son Jacob. Then the chief captain went down to the bed of Abraham and sat down with him at the table. And Yitzhak served them. And with the supper was ended, Abraham prayed after his custom. And the chief captain prayed together with him, and each lay down to sleep upon. This is more proof that you pray and give thanks after you eat. And each lay down to sleep upon his couch. And Yitzhak said to his father, Father, I too would fain sleep with you in this chamber, that I also may hear your discourse. For I love to hear the excellence of the conversation of this virtuous man. Right? And if you don't believe me about praying after you eat, go to Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 10. Okay. So what Isaac said to his father, Father, I too would fain sleep with you in this chamber, that I also may hear your discourse. For I love to hear the excellence of their conversation of this virtuous man. So Isaac wanted to listen to their conversation because he wanted to learn. He wanted to gain wisdom. Abraham said, no, my son, but go to your own chamber and sleep on your own couch, lest we be troublesome to this man. Then Isaac, having received the prayer from them, and having blessed them, went to his own chamber and lay down upon his iris couch. But he that causes to exist put the thought of death into the heart of Isaac as in a dream. And about the third hour of the night, Isaac awoke and rose up from his couch and came running to the chamber where his father was sleeping together with the chief messenger. Isaac therefore, on reaching the door, cried out, saying, my father Abraham, arise and open to me quickly, that I may enter and hang upon your neck and embrace you before they take you away from me. Abraham therefore arose and opened to him, and Isaac entered and hung upon his neck and began to weep with a loud voice. Abraham therefore, being moved at heart, also wept with a loud voice. Right? And so what did Isaac mean by he said that before they take you? Right? Angels carry the dead. Wicked ones go to Sheol, and the wicked portions, where the wicked ones go to Sheol, to the wicked portions, and the right ruling go to the right ruling portions called paradise. Right? That's what he meant before they take you, before his soul departs the body, and the angels that are responsible for that take his soul. Okay. And Abraham, therefore, being moved at heart, also wept in a loud voice. And the chief captain, seeing them weeping, wept also. Sarah, being in her room, heard their weeping, and came running to them, and found them embracing and weeping. And Sarah said with weeping, My husband Abraham, what is this that ye weep? Tell me, my master, has this brother that has been entertained by us this day brought you tidings of Lot, your brother's son, that he is dead? Is it for this that ye grieve thus? The chief captain answered and said to her, No, my sister Sarah, it is not as you say. But your son Yitzhak had a dream and came to us weeping, and we, seeing him, were moved in our hearts and wept. Chapter 5, 5a. Then Michael went into the bed of Abraham on that evening and found them preparing the supper, and they ate and drank and were merry. And Abraham said to his son Yitzhak, Arise, my son, and spread the man's couch that he may sleep, and set the lamp upon the stand. And Yitzhak did as his father commanded him. And Yitzhak said to his father, I too am coming to sleep beside you. Abraham answered him, Nay, my son, lest we be troublesome to this man. But go to your own chamber and arise. And Yitzhak said, Yitzhak, not wishing to disobey his father's command, went away and slept in his own chamber. Right? Chapter 6. And it happened about the 7th hour of the night, Yitzhak arose, and it came to the door of his father's chamber, crying out, saying, Open, father, that I may touch you before they take you away from me. Abraham arose and opened to him, and Yitzhak entered and hung upon his father's neck, weeping, and kissed him with lamentations. And Abraham wept together with his son, and Michael saw them weeping, and wept likewise. And Sarah, hearing them weeping, called from her bedchamber, saying, My master Abraham, why is he weeping? Has the stranger told you of your brother's son Lot, that he is dead? Or is something else has befallen us? Michael answered and said to Sarah, No, Sarah, I have brought no tidings of Lot, but I knew of all your kindness of heart, that therein ye excel all men upon earth, and he that causes to exist has remembered you. Right? 6a. Then Sarah, hearing the excellence of this conversation of the chief captain, straightway knew that it was a heavenly messenger of he that causes to exist that spoke. Sarah therefore signified to Abraham to come out towards the door, and he said to him, My master Abraham, know you who this man is? Abraham said, I know not. Sarah said, You know, my master, the 3 men from heaven that were entertained by us in our tent beside the oak of Mamre. And that is in Genesis chapter 18, verse 2. Okay? You can find that Genesis chapter 18, verse 2. When you did kill the kid without blemish and set a table before them after the flesh had been eaten, the kid rose again and sucked its mother with great joy. Owe you not, my master Abraham, that by promise they gave to us Yitzhak as the fruit of the womb of these 3 set apart men? So a miracle was done here, right here. So it says, after the flesh had been eaten, the kid rose again and sucked its mother with great joy. So a miracle was done here, whereby the calf that they had eaten was put back as it was before its sacrifice. This was to signify the resurrection of the dead with the flesh, and to show that Isaac would rise again after his death, and they fear not his coming test. Okay, so we're gonna go back to read the bottom part again. It says, "Oh, you not, my master Abraham, that by promise they gave to us Yitzhak as the fruit of the womb of these 3 set apart men. This is one." Abraham said, "O Sarah, in this you speak the truth. Glory and praise from our Elohim and for the Father, for late in the evening when I washed his feet in the basin, I said in my heart, these are the feet of one of the 3 men that I washed then. And his tears that fell in the basin then became precious stones. And shaking them out from his lap, he gave them to Sarah, saying, if you believe me not, look now at these. And Sarah, receiving them, bowed down and said, Shalom, and glory be to Elohim that shows us wonderful things. And now know, my master Abraham, that there is among us the revelation of something, whether it be evil or good." Okay. So when Sarah was telling Abraham that this is one of the men that their feet that they washed, one of the 3 holy men, this means that the angel Michael was in the company of he that causes to exist when they visited Abraham before. Okay. Remember when the Most High visited Abraham, the 3 men, when they were sitting under the Mamre tree, and he told them that Sarah was going to have a child, and she laughed? Well, Michael was one of those three men that was with he that causes to exist. Okay. Chapter 7. And Abraham left Sarah and went into the chamber and said to Isaac, "Come here, my beloved son. Tell me the truth. What is it you saw and what befell you that you came so hastily to us?" And Isaac answering began to say, "I saw my master in this night, the sun and the moon above my head." Right? Remember Joseph's dream? The sun and the moon above my head, surrounding me with its rays and giving me light. As I gazed at this and rejoiced, I saw the heaven opened and a man bearing light descending from it, shining more than 7 suns. And this man, like the sun, came and took away the sun from my head. Right? And the head being Abraham, right? Took away the sun from my head and went up into the heavens from where he came from. But I was greatly grieved that he took away the sun from me. After a little, as I was still sorrowing and sore troubled, I saw this man come forth from heaven a second time, and he took away from me the moon also from my head. And I wept greatly and called upon that man of light and said, "Do not, my master, take away my glory from me. Pity me and hear me. And if you take away the sun from me, then leave the moon to me." So the sun being his father, the moon being his mother. He said, "Permit them to be taken up to the sovereign above, for he wishes them there." And he took them away from me, but he left. Then Sarah said to Abraham, "Why do you weep when the man of Elohim has come to you? And why have your eyes shed tears? For today there is great rejoicing." Abraham said to her, "How did you know that this is a man of Elohim?" Sarah answered and said, "Because I say and declare that this is one of the 3 men who were entertained by us at the oak of Mamre. When one of the servants went and brought a kid, and you did kill it, and did say to me, 'Arise, make ready that we may eat with these men in our house.' Abraham answered and said, 'You have perceived well, O woman, for I too, when I washed the feet, knew in my heart that these were the feet which I had washed at the oak of Mamre. And when I began to inquire concerning his journey, he said to me, I go to preserve Lot your brother from the man of Sodom. And then I knew the mystery." Chapter 7a. And Abraham said to Michael, "Tell me, man of Elohim, and show to me why you have come here." And Michael said, "Your son Yitzhak will show you." And Abraham said to his son, "My beloved son, tell me, what have you seen in your dream today? And what frightened you? Relate it to me." Yitzhak answered his father, "I saw in my dream the sun and the moon, and there was a crown upon my head. And there came from heaven a man of great size, and shining as the light that is called the Father of light. He took the sun from my head, and yet left the rays behind me. And I wept and said, I beseech you, my master, take not away the glory of my head, and the light of my house, of my bed, and all my glory. And the sun and the moon and the stars lamented, saying, Take not away the glory of our power. And that shining man answered and said to me, Weep not that I take the light of your bed, for it is taken up from troubles into rest. From a low estate to a high one, they lift him up from a narrow to a wide place. They raise him from darkness to light. And I said to him, I beseech you, master, take also the rays upon me. The chief captain said, Hear, O right ruling Abraham, the sun which your son saw is you, his father, and the moon likewise is Sarah, his mother. The man bearing light who descended from heaven, this is the one sent from Elohim who is to take your right ruling soul from you. And now know, O most honored Abraham, that at this time you shall leave this worldly life and remove to Elohim. Abraham said to the chief captain, O stranger of marvels, and now are you he that shall take my soul from me? The chief captain said to him, I am the chief captain Michael that stands before he that causes to exist, and I was sent to you to remind you of your death, and then I shall depart to him as I was commanded. Abraham said, Now I know that you are a heavenly messenger of he that causes to exist, and was sent to take my soul, but I will not go with you, but do whatever you are commanded. Chapter 8. The chief captain, hearing these words, immediately vanished, and ascending into heaven stood before Elohim, and told all that he had seen in the bed of Abraham. And the chief captain said this also to his master. Thus saith your friend Abraham, I will not go with you, but do whatever you are commanded. And now, O he that causes to exist, El Shaddai, does your glory and immortal kingdom order aught? Elohim said to the chief captain Michael, Go to my friend Abraham, yet once again, and speak to him thus. Thus says he that causes to exist, your Elohim. He that brought you into the land of promise, that blessed you above the sand of the sea and above the stars of heaven, that opened the womb of barrenness of Sarah, and granted you Yitzhak as the fruit of your womb in old age. Verily I say unto you, that blessing I will bless you, and multiplying I will multiply your seed, and I will give you all that you shall ask from me, for I am he that causes to exist, your Elohim, and besides me there is no other. All that Yahshua, Christ, New Testament, there is no other one. Okay? Isaiah 43 and 11, right there. You have Isaiah 43 right there, 11, right there. Isaiah 43 and 11. You shall ask from me, for I am he that causes to exist, your Elohim, and besides me there is no other. Tell me why you have rebelled against me, and why there is grief in you, and why you rebelled against my chief messenger Michael. Do you know not that all who have come from Adam and Hawa have died, and that none of the prophets has escaped death? None of those that rule as sovereigns is immortal. None of your forefathers has escaped the mystery of death. So right there, it was even prophets even before, right? Because Enoch, Noah, they have all died. They have all departed into Sheol. They are all gathered by the sickle of death. But upon you I have not sent death. I have not permitted any deadly disease to come upon you. I have not permitted the sickle of death to meet you. I have not allowed the nets of Sheol to enfold you. I have never wished you to meet with any evil, but for good comfort I have sent my rays with it. He said to me, There are 12 hours of the day, and then I shall take all thy rays. As the shining man said this, I saw the son of my Beth ascending into heaven, but that crown I saw no more. And that son was like you, my father. And Michael said to Abraham, Your son Yitzhak has spoken truth, for you shall go and be taken up into the heavens, but your body shall remain on earth until 7,000 ages are fulfilled. For then all flesh shall arise. Now therefore, Abraham, set your beds in order and your children, for you have heard fully what is decreed concerning you. Right? So he said they all have died, they have all departed into Sheol. Right? That's the Sheol is the place that has many sections. Some are reserved for the wicked, while others are reserved for the right ruling dead. Right? Then later on it goes down and says, But your body shall remain on earth until 7,000 ages are fulfilled. This is proof that the souls do not ascend into heaven, but remain in Sheol until resurrection. The only thing that ascends to heaven is the spirit of man or woman that was given to he that causes to exist to animate the body. So keep that in mind. Right? So Chief Captain Michael has been sent to you, that you may know your departure from the world, and set your beds in order, and all that belongs to you, and bless Yitzhak your beloved son. And now know that I have done this, not wishing to grieve you. Why then have you said to my chief captain, I will not go with you? Why have you spoken this way? Do you not know that if I give leave to death, and he comes upon you, then I should see whether you would come or not? So the Most High is asking him, why would you say anything? Don't you know if I tell him to go ahead and take you, that we shall see if you're gonna come or not? You're gonna come, right? So, right, and like you said, do you know not that if I give leave to death and he comes upon you, then I should see whether you would come or not? An angel has been assigned called death, or I'm not going to say the name of the angel of death, but he's been assigned, okay, who is responsible for taking away the souls of humans. All right, everybody sees that angel. That is his job, to come take away the souls. Chapter 8a. And the chief captain, receiving the exhortations of he that causes to exist, went down to Abraham, and seeing him, the right ruling one, fell upon his face to the ground as one dead. And the chief captain told him all that he had heard from the Most High. Then the set apart and just Abraham, rising with many tears, fell at the feet of the incorporeal being and besought him, saying, I beseech you, chief captain of the host above, since you have wholly deigned to come yourself to me, a sinner, and in all things your unworthy servant, I beseech you even now, O chief captain, to carry my word yet again to the Most High. And you shall say to him, Thus says Abraham your servant, Adonai, he that causes to exist, in every work and word which I have asked of you, you have heard me, and have fulfilled all my counsel. Now, Adonai, I resist not your power, for I too know that I am not immortal, but mortal. Since therefore to your command all things yield, and fear and tremble at the face of your power, I also fear. But I ask one request of you. And now, he that causes to exist, my master, hear my prayer. For while still in this body, I desire to see all the inhabited earth, and all the creations which you did establish by one word. And when I see these, then if I shall depart from life, I shall be without sorrow. So the chief captain went back again and stood before Elohim and told him all, saying, Thus saith your friend Abraham, I desired to behold all the earth in my lifetime before I died. And the Most High, hearing this again, commanded the chief captain Michael and said to him, Take a cloud of light, and the heavenly messengers that have power over the chariots, and go down, take the right ruling Abraham upon a chariot of the cherubim, and exalt him into the air of heaven, that he may behold all the earth. Right? And it goes right here, it says, which you did establish by one word. In Genesis chapter 1, all the world was created at once, right? And it was created by the power of he that causes to exist word. Right, by his word. Okay. Chapter 9. And the chief messenger Michael went down and took Abraham upon a chariot and the cherubim, and exalted him into the air of heaven, and led him upon the cloud together with 60 heavenly messengers. And Abraham ascended upon the chariot over all the earth. And Abraham saw the world as it was in that day, some plowing, others driving wains in one place, men herding flocks, and in another Abraham answered, others driving wains in one place, men herding flocks, and in another Abraham answered and said to Michael, I beseech you, master, if I shall depart from my body, I have desired to be taken up in my body, that I may see the creatures that he that causes to exist, my Elohim, has created in heaven and on earth. And Michael answered and said, This is not for me to do, but I shall go and tell he that causes to exist of this. And if I am commanded, I shall show you all these things. Chapter 10. And Michael went up into heaven and spoke to he that causes to exist concerning Abraham. And he that causes to exist answered Michael, Go and take Abraham in the body and show him all things. And whatsoever he shall say to you, do to him as to my friend. So Michael went forth and took up Abraham in the body on a cloud and brought him to the river of Ocean. So Abraham, actually, this wasn't in the spirit. Abraham got to see this in the flesh. Watching them by night and dancing and playing and harping. In another place, men striving and contending at law. Elsewhere, men weeping and having the dead in remembrance. He saw also the newly wedded received with honor. And in a word, he saw all things that are done in the world, both good and bad. Abraham, therefore, passing over them, saw men bearing swords, wielding in their hands sharpened swords. And Abraham asked the chief captain, Who are these? The chief captain said, These are thieves, who intend to commit murder, and to steal, and to burn, and to destroy. Abraham said, Master, hear my voice, and command that wild beasts may come out of the wood and devour them. And even as he spoke, there came wild beasts out of the wood and devoured them. And he saw in another place a man with a woman committing fornication with each other. And he said, Master, command that the earth may open and swallow them. And straightway the earth was cleft and swallowed them. And he saw in another place men digging through a bed and carrying away another man's possessions. And he said, Master, command that fire may come down from heaven and consume them. And even as he spoke, fire came down from heaven and consumed them. And straightway there came a voice from heaven to the chief captain, saying thus, O chief captain Michael, command the chariot to stop. and turn Abraham away, that he may not see all the earth. For if he behold all that live in wickedness, he will destroy all creation. For behold, Abraham has not sinned, and has no pity on sinners. But I have made the world, and desire not to destroy any one of them, but wait for the death of the sinner, till he may be converted and live. But take Abraham up to the first gate of heaven, that he may see there the judgments and recompenses, and repent of the souls of the sinners that he has destroyed. Right? So in the beginning, where he says, and he saw another place, a man and a woman committing fornication with each other. These were not people in heaven, but visions out of heaven of what was going on upon the earth. Okay, and so they were committing fornication, adultery, and stuff like that. So Abraham had, he had got destroyed. Now keep in mind, the prophet said that we are supposed to, that we will be the judges. Okay, that we will judge kings. Abraham is going to be one of those judges. Abraham is going to be judging us. Okay. This is why I tell you it's obey or die. You see that Abraham had no pity on the sinners. Now, us being Abraham's children, he may have pity on us, he may not. But Abraham's right ruling, man, he has no pity for the sinners, as you can see. All right. Now, I hope this was able to edify you. We're going to stop here at the end of chapter 10, and we'll pick up in the next video. We'll read the rest of it, chapters 11 through 18, and that will finish off the book, okay? So we read chapters 4 through chapters 10 of the Testament of Abraham. I hope I was able to edify you. And if you would, check out the videos that we put up. We put up the Shabbat teachings, and check out the community tab. Community tab, we drop a lot of gems, a lot of information, and a lot of breakdowns of different words, verses, and etc. Coming straight up from the desk of my teacher, Moray Shaw. And shout out to Moray Shaw and House of Wisdom. And so yeah, check out and be on the lookout for the rest of the book of the Testament of Abraham. All right, this is your brother Ariah signing out. Peace and blessings, and may the Most High increase you. May the Most High name be magnified throughout the earth. May the Most High name be praised, for he is worthy to be praised. Okay, peace and blessings to all my Israelites that worship the Most High alone, and the Most High alone in truth and in knowledge. Okay, Baruch Hashem, all praises to the Most High. Blessings, Israel, and increases. Shalom.
Sing unto Yahweh a new song. Sing unto Yahweh, let all the earth call. Bless his name and show forth his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory amongst the heathens and wonder amongst the people. Every morning and evening I give him praise. The false gods are vain by the Most High. The skies was made, nothing new under the sun. Yeah, these times don't change. I guide my steps, direct and devise my ways. Honor and majesty my Yah retain. Beauty is in the sanctuary amongst the saints. Give Yah glory and strength. Search far and wide across the 7 seas for a sign, but never seen a God alive like Yah, my Elohim.